Hello guys, and welcome to this video tutorial. Here I will show and explain everything about the edit, the light, and how I made this photo. So let's get started right away. The photo that we see here is the original as it came from the camera. And if we go out here and check the settings, we see as shot and nothing is touched here in Lightroom. So you can see what the photos looks like straight out of the camera when I shoot. You can also have a look at the histogram here, and what you see is, or what I see is, the photo is pretty dark, and that is something that I've talked about many times, that you need to shoot dark to get nice colors and nice skin tones. If you shoot the photo too bright, the colors will just get washed out and you can never bring them back. Another thing is what I think, or my own thoughts, is that the harder the light is, the darker you should shoot. So if you shoot in really soft and even light, you don't need to underexpose so much because you have all the information there. And I mean, if you are shooting in soft light with a background that is not overexposed and all the details are there, no extreme highlights, nothing, then there is no reason to underexpose so much because you're not winning anything from this. You can just shoot the correct exposure, so to say. But if you shoot in really harsh conditions with direct sunlight like here, it is important to underexpose to get all the information. And if you look at the skin, you can see that it's some shine here on the skin, and we use some oil and some water to get the nice shine and nice glow in the skin. It was also pretty humid and really warm here. It was shot in Jamaica, and yeah, that helps for the nice glowy look of the skin. One other thing that you might notice is it looks like she have really nice skin with no issues except for here, but it's really a good skin. And I don't think that she have some exceptional skin or much better than many other models. She have nice skin, but I mean, it's nothing special. The thing is that I see many times when I shoot in this kind of strong direct sunlight, it is like I don't know how to say it, but the skin many times looks better. It's like glowing, it's alive, it's like shining, and the only thing is how the light hits the model. You know, if you're shooting with bad light, the skin will look horrible. You will see everything that is uneven. If you're shooting with like direct sunlight from the wrong angle, too early in the day, or I mean around noon, or wrong in some other way. So what I would say is, best thing is to shoot with the sun behind you, also in the afternoon when the sun is a little bit lower. So the sun should come in a little bit above your head, like a photographer, and a little bit from the side. So if you check the shadow here, you can see the angle where the sun is. The sun is from the side, and this shadow here is caused by this leg, and this shadow here by this thing. So you can see, we can really see the angle here. If you check what I do with the mouse here, you can see how it's angled down. You can also see the shadow here. So it's high, but it's not super high. You can also see the shadow under the nose and here. So the shadow under the nose, the only thing that I don't like is the eyelashes here, because they give a lot of weird shadows here, but I can't do anything about that. But you see, you get an idea of where the sun is when you look at the shadow. Also, it's really good when she's facing this direction, because she's facing towards the sun. And that's what I told her, to have her face in this direction, and the body towards me. So what I wanted to create was an even light in the face. You can see it's pretty centered here if you check the shadow from the nose and the shadow under here. So the light is like straight on to on her face, and on the body here you can see that it's slightly from the side because the light is from this side. So you give nice shadows to the body to shape the body in a good way. And when the light is straight onto the face, we don't cause any weird shadows or anything that shouldn't be there. And yeah, I think the cool thing with shooting in direct sunlight is the color that you get, the saturation, the look of the skin, and yeah, like the only thing that you need to think about is how the light is angled. And you can see, like I said, from the shadow here, we know how the light hits the model in this photo. So I will show you a few others from the same shoot, and they're all raw here, straight from the camera. Here you can see the same thing. Now the light is a little bit from the side onto her face here, as you can see the shadow from the nose. And now we see something uneven come out here and here. Not that bad, but you can see it's from the side. Here's another one just on the body. And here's one more, and now the light is more centered on the face again, which I think looks better. So what I try to say here is it's no problem in shooting in direct sunlight as long as you shoot with the right angle. And if you check here, you see the shadow here, it's even more behind her. It means that the light is almost straight on. And if the light is straight on and the angle is low, it's gonna be perfect in sunlight. Yeah, so let's go back to the last photo here. So the thing is, yeah, I'm shooting dark, and the harder the light is, the darker you should shoot, like I said. That is to always save your highlights, always save the bright areas of the photo, because the shadows we can bring back easily. No need to bring back the shadows if we are shooting like this, but I mean we can. And the color will come out richer. So the first thing that we will do here is I want to go down and remove the vignetting and use the profile correction here. I don't know if it was much of vignetting here. Oh, it was a little bit. We can remove that. Then I want to go up here again to the exposure, and now I need to make the photo a lot brighter since it was so dark. Now we get more of an idea of what the photo actually looks like. So let's go and check the color profiles here like I always do. For some reason with the new Canon R5, there's not so many profiles to choose from. It's only the Adobe RAW profile. So it's Adobe Color, Landscape, Portrait. Yeah, you get the idea. I just want to check what is the difference between Portrait and Standard. I don't know if it's standard, but I mean this Adobe Color, I think that is the one that looks the best at the moment. So we will choose that one, and that was the default one anyway. Then we go for white balance, and I choose auto, and it always gets colder. But what I like with using the auto mode is that Lightroom here choose the tint for me, where to put the tint. And that is good because sometimes it's hard to understand where to put the tint, you know. At least for me, sometimes I don't get the feeling for it until it's like too late. So I like to see what Lightroom choose for me, but they always turn out too cold. So I will push the white balance up until I'm happy. When I push the white balance up, I also see that the photo start to look a little bit greener also. So I will probably push towards the magenta here just a little bit. And with this particular photo, I have decided to do more like all my color grading and everything in Photoshop. So I will not do it here in Lightroom. I will just correct the white balance, the profile with the vignetting like I showed you, and maybe some small change, the exposure, maybe some shadow recovery, depends on what it looks like. because I see the hair is so dark, if I use a little bit shadow recovery, maybe I'll bring back some details here in the hair. Yeah, a little bit. So I will go there around 10, 11. And then I want to go down all the way down here, because we have something here that's shadow tint. And I get the photo is so green. It is also because it is really green. Like you see, the water is green, the trees are green here. I just want to have it a little bit less green, so I will do the tint a little bit towards the magenta and the shadows also. Or not shadows also, I mean in the shadows. So, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good now. It's neutral, it's not too contrasty. It's a nice color, and I think this looks really good for me for continue in Photoshop. So let's do that. When I export to Photoshop, I use special settings here. I use PSD format, Adobe RGB, 16-bit, and that is important because 16-bit is a lot more color information. Adobe RGB is also much more color information than sRGB. The only thing is when you post this on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere on internet, you need to change it to 8-bit and you need to change the color profile to sRGB. Otherwise, it will not work. The colors will look really strange. Okay, first thing here is I want to add some contrast now, and I want to do that with curves. So I will do curve. And I will put it in luminosity mode. So as you can see, so far we almost didn't do any changes, because the changes that I'm doing, I'm choosing them. Choosing them really careful, so it looks super easy. It looks like we're not really doing anything with the photo, because I mean, if you're shooting good light, you get nice color. If you don't have any weird colors around you, no weird colors in the picture, everything is in harmony, the colors will come out nice, and you don't really need to do anything. You just need to not mess up. So a few carefully selected adjustments will be enough almost all the time. And I would do levels also here, because I want to bring in some of the brightest highlights like that. Maybe I have to add some contrast, I don't know. What is nice when you are doing it like this in Photoshop is you don't need to decide right now. You can change your mind later and add more contrast or less contrast. I want to also go with selective color and maybe add some tone here in the blacks. It's not that much, but just to a little bit remove that green again. Now I will group these and I will call this color. I will make a copy of my background layer because I always do that. I don't want to do any edit on the background on the original, because I want that to use that to compare with my edit. So what I want to do here is I want to first go and check here in this area, see if we have anything to adjust or fix or heal. Many times there is something here. Now it was pretty good actually, but sometimes they've been using pants or shorts or whatever before the shoot and they have some marks here. And I know that from experience that you always have to check in this area. But here was okay. Maybe she'd been in his bikini for a while before we were shooting. So just go and quick check the skin if there's anything we need to fix with healing brush. It's not really much that need to be done, but I'm still doing a little bit just in case. Okay, so here we have the two problem areas, I would say. We will do that. I will just take care about a few other things first. For example, this line here. This one is not super important because it is already pretty hidden here in the shadow. But we will fix that anyway. I'm not super careful here because I will not see, no one will notice this anyway. Let's just leave it like this, it's good enough. And let's check if there was something here in the face. It's just a few small things, it's not really anything special here. The pores here or this area I just leave like this because it looks weird to edit it too much. So I don't try to not touch it. We will do some dodge and burn here after also, where we take care of the rest of the things. Forehead here is probably only dodge and burn. Okay. Down here, the armpits, that's where the problem is. So we have some things we will fix here with dodge and burn, because that is sometimes easier, but I just try to remove these lines here. Sometimes it works with healing brush, sometimes this is there's a lot of issues here. But this worked out pretty smooth so far. I will show you my settings for the healing brush also, but it's the same ones that I use all the time. It looks like this. And I'm using the normal healing brush, not spot healing brush. So I think I will leave one line here and I will do a little bit dodge and burn here to fix the rest. So I don't want to make it like 100% perfect, because then it will also look weird, because everyone know that this area looks a little bit strange. You should see some structure here. If you don't, you really see that someone edited way too much. So I'm just going to want to make it like less distracting and less disturbing. So let's save here and use dodge and burn to fix the rest. So I will do like this. Oh no, not like this. I will make a curve up, put it in luminosity mode, invert it, call it dodge. And I will do another one in the opposite direction, invert, luminosity, and call it burn. Then we make a gradient map and group all of this. Like I always do, I start with switching on the black and white layer, because this helped me to see the problem areas, and I also see I have some there on the arm. So I will do a small brush, 10% opacity, 100% flow. That's the way I like to use it. So we just try to remove, or just remove this a little bit. It was nothing really big, but it was there. Okay, here is the problem area now. So we have something dark here. We will try to make that brighter. There was also some dark spot down there. Sometimes you have to take away the black and white layer to see what you're really doing. And sometimes you need it on to see where you need to edit. But here everything gets so dark and just disappears. So we're just trying now to make this as smooth and even as possible without being too much. So I'm trying to just find all the spots here that are darker. Now I will make this darker actually here to blend in better. So let's just see what we, oh sorry, was on the wrong layer there. Was not good at all. Okay, so let's check this. What did it look like from the beginning? It's better. Could be even better like this if we take a bigger brush. And I think if I, oops. Okay, if I make this, oh, sorry, this line here a little bit darker, maybe that would also make it less distracting. The reason why I like to use dodge and burn here and not too much with healing brush is that there should be some structure. If we use healing brush, we remove all that structure, and if I overdo it, this will just look weird when it's too flat here with no structures left. That's why it's better to do it with healing brush. Oh, I mean with dodge and burn, because then at least you keep the structure and it will look more natural. So let's see. Let's leave it like this for now. For me, it's okay when it is a little bit like that. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Here I will make this line. Oops. This one here darker. So this side was much less distracting. So here it's not so much I need to do. Just improve it a little bit. Next we go to the face. So here I need to find the right size of the brush. So it's not super much we need to do. We just improve it a little bit. So this is a pretty fast photo to do. I mean, it doesn't take so much time, and that's the way I like to do it. I like to take my time, or I mean, not take my time, but to not compromise when I'm shooting. I like to shoot correct and be careful with my choices about from where I shoot, look at the light all the time, and not make any mistakes. Yes, make as few mistakes as possible while you are shooting, so you get the best results for the edit. Because the edit process, if it's hard, it is not as fun. I mean, if it's easy and without too much struggle, then it's much more fun. So I don't like to make it hard for myself here. And I can also produce more photos in a shorter time. So actually I think that this is enough, because it's not a beauty picture. Just see, here is something maybe we can. And also what we have to remember, as soon as I remove this black and white layer, the photo will look much, I mean, the skin will look much better already and much less even, because the black and white layer is actually making everything much worse. Here we had some things. Not much, but and then I think I need to zoom out a little bit to see. What we have to remember here also is that this is shot with, I think I said before, the Canon EOS R5, and that's 45 megapixels. So when we are zoomed in 100%, we are pretty close. And what is nice with the mirrorless cameras, when you have the nice face and eye detection, is that you can just more flow with your shooting. You don't need to, the model don't need to stand still, because the focus will track her all the time and you can get more flow in your photos. That's the way I'm shooting right now. I try to not have any standing still poses, you know, not too stiff. So we are almost there. Down here was some things to see on that leg. There's a big area there that I think needs to be brighter. Such a big area. And here on this side there was a few small things, but some of these uneven things here is also because of the reflection from the water. So I don't want to take it away too much, because that's something that's quite cool actually when you get the reflections from the water. And I have to see here, it's not so easy to see all the time. I think it is okay now. So what I want to do now is I want to check from this distance with the black and white layer on, because I see here on the arms it needs some fixing. The legs, they are okay. And I will take a bigger brush. Actually, a little bit there on the legs wouldn't hurt. If you always only look at the photo in the close-up like I did before, you miss a lot of these details that you only see from when you back off a little bit and zoom out. So now I see much more things that I want to fix. I want to make it a little bit more even here on this arm also. But once again, it is not that super important. The photo will still be okay. It is not that bad. But we can make it a little bit better, so why not do it? Up here was also some things. Yeah, I think now, I mean, I could go here forever and just make some small clicks, but I will not do that. I will take a bigger brush and I will do a little bit in the hair, and I did the whole face before because the face is a little bit dark, but I think now it's pretty good. So let's check like before and after up here in this area. Maybe the armpits here could be a little bit more edited, a little bit nicer and smoother, but still I think it's still okay for me. Other people might say different, but for me this is okay. I like natural. I like to keep some things natural, and I don't like it when photos look too over edited. So we keep this. So let's save everything here. And now I see one more thing. It's down here. I need a bigger brush, the burn layer, to make it darker. Yeah, that's better. I can also enhance this shadow there a little bit, that shadow, and here in the middle. So let's see. Let's be happy with this now. Save again. Yeah, so I think here the most important thing here is that if you are shooting with a good light, with the right angle, the skin will look a lot better. And don't be afraid of shooting in the strong sunlight, as long as you are shooting from the right angle, or when the light is from the right angle. Don't be afraid of that, because it looks amazing. You just have to understand how to work with the light. So you have to move, the model have to move until the light is correct, because you can't move the light source. Better now. Yeah, I think this is almost done here. Almost. I see all the time when I think I'm done, I see something new that I want to fix a little bit, or something here. I mean, it's no big things. I just wanted to make it a little bit nicer. Okay, now we're good. So when I'm done, or when you're done, it's really important to save the photo in the correct way. So I will just let the PSD file here save first. Okay, now it's not saved yet. By the way, the PSD file that I'm including in the together with the video is always in 8-bit, because I convert them to 8-bit before I upload, because of the file size. 16-bit is the double file size, and the whole video together with the edited file and everything, it becomes so huge, so much data to download. So that's why I convert to 8-bit. Okay, now we do like this: mode, 8 bits per channel, convert profile from Adobe RGB to sRGB, and then we have to do the image size. So what I like to do is like 2000 pixels on the long edge, the long side. So it's like, yeah, this is 50% of the image. So 2000 sRGB and 8-bit. That's how I do it. Now this is ready to post on internet. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.